Good afternoon, my Husky Gourmet Foods family. How are you all doing today? Hopefully you're doing great. It's definitely a beautiful sunny day outside. It's amazing. We definitely need the sun. Today we will be doing our famous chocolate chip cookies. Definitely an American classic. Our cookies have been popular for fuck. I can't even go far. I can't go far or back that far, but forever. Before we were making them, they were really popular with the family and stuff, and friends, neighbors, etc. As you all know, the recipe's been passed down to us throughout our family generations. We have recipes dating back to 1901, which is pretty cool. But today we are going to work on our chocolate chip cookies. So to start off with, I'm going to let you guys know the butter's in here right now, but we're going to take our flour and our baking soda, mix it in together. I like to do it this way. They say to sift it, but freaking that takes way too long. It doesn't make any difference as long as it's all combined together. So, that's that. We're also going to take some of this out and put it into another cup. That way we can mix it into some of the wet ingredients later as a stabilizer. Okay. So for the wet ingredients, you're going to have your butter, and you combine white sugar and brown sugar. This will be your wet ingredients. Listen to the sounds. Hi guys, for all you who are watching right now. So this is butter, brown sugar, white sugar, and then you just got to combine them. This recipe is really cool. I know we all love it. We've been eating these things for years. The cookie is really soft and tender. It's got that perfect sweetness to it. Obviously it doesn't need to mix that long. We're going to lift this up, take the spatula, clean off your paddle. And then scrape off the sides of your bowl. This way everything gets incorporated together evenly. This is kind of what your... Whoop, that figures. Hey, there you go. There's a freaking something for us. There. We'll save that for another clip. So this is kind of what your mixture will look like currently. This is just butter, brown sugar, and white sugar. Scrape that off. What we're going to do is some of that flour that we took out, we're going to dump it right into the container, which is what you got there. This is kind of help stabilize everything. More or less kind of dry it up so it gets a little less wet, I guess you want to say. Got that. Lift this up. There's a lot of scraping. This recipe has a lot of scraping. So, scrape the stuff off again. I think this is the part that annoys me the most. The soft sugar cookies you don't have to do this with because that recipe is wet. Like it's basically all liquid in a sense. But this here is thick. So again, we have to scrape off the sides. So you see what I'm saying? So we went from what it was to something more stable. Now it's kind of more thick. So what we're going to be doing to this recipe is it's going to be dry, wet, dry, wet, dry. And then everything just chemically mixes in together. This recipe is easily screwed up. So, I mean, if you have your stuff put in wrong, you can come out with a flat cookie. And, I mean, even though it's still edible, it's flat. So again, now it looks like this. Now we're going to make it wet again, so we want to add in our eggs. And our vanilla. So, see what I was saying? Now it's going to be wet again. So that's exactly what I was talking about with this recipe. It starts off dry, wet, and then we make it dry again, wet again, dry again, etc. So now we're going to mix all that together. Okay, so our mixing time is going to be a little bit longer now. We want to incorporate the eggs into the batter. This is going to allow the cookies to actually come to a nice fluffiness. And everybody knows our cookies aren't flat. Take notice too, one of the great things about us is we do not use any of the corporate drugs or chemicals. We all know now, especially from JFK, or sorry, not JFK, RFK Jr., the corporations have been putting drugs and chemicals into our food that has been harming our bodies for several generations of humans. So right now it's starting to get thicker, and you'll see that shortly as soon as I pour it out, but it's not quite ready yet. We're looking for this batter to be kind of fluffy, like almost a marshmallow type look. And it's almost there, but not quite yet. That's the other thing. If you don't incorporate these eggs into this batter the right way, you don't wait long enough, you're going to end up with a really flat cookie. You don't want that. You got the flat cookies. They kind of look like they got melted when you pull them out of the oven. But we've seen it. We've done it. If you mix it too much, that's another issue too, because then you'll end up with a short, fat, fluffy cookie. And everybody is aware that unless we're doing special events and stuff, and if you ask from us, if you come to us to personally purchase Irish products, they're large. But yeah, Mahusky Gourmet Foods we've been in business for over 15 years now, and we have never incorporated any of those corporation drugs or chemicals. Our food's been safe for the public. We started this before it was even a thing, and now it's popular. Okay, so this looks good. This is nice and fluffy. Scrape this stuff off here. God, this, if you guys could smell this right now, it just smells so delicious. This recipe is so amazing. You can use the knife or a spatula, whatever is comfortable for you, to scrape off your batter from your paddle. So, remember earlier I was talking about your ingredients becoming wet and dry, wet and dry. Now they're wet again. You really can't tell if they're wet, but it is definitely wet. anyone in the baking world can see that with that shot that I just gave you. So we're going to scrape everything off the sides. But yeah, you can see how everything is all nice and wet. Scrape off this. Yeah, leave comments below. We definitely would like to see them. Let us know if you like the videos or what we're doing. If you'd like to see anything special made, etc. I'm just going to scrape off the sides one more time here, because it's important that we get everything mixed in together. If it's not incorporated right, your cookies are going to get all screwed up. A lot of people have hard times with cookies, and it basically comes down to mixing it correctly. And of course your ingredients, that's important. Alright, so you got your eggs and stuff. Now we're going to add in our flour. Again, we go from wet to dry. And remember, this has flour and baking soda mixed in together. The baking soda is going to also help make your cookies rise and come to that beautiful thickness that we have. So now we're going to incorporate that. This gets a little, you'll see, a little messy. The flour shoots up everywhere. So you want to start off on a low setting. As everything incorporates and starts mixing together, you can increase your speeds. There we go. Alright, so currently everything is mixing together. These are chocolate chip cookies, so of course we're going to add in chocolate chips. There are two versions of chocolate chips for anybody that wants to know. There are imitation chocolate chips, so it's not real chocolate. And then there is the real chocolate chips that are actually made from real cocoa. We use the real stuff, of course. There isn't too many people out there that know that there's a difference, but the taste is a huge difference. If you know the difference in your foods, you'll know that the real cocoa tastes 100% better than the artificial stuff. Okay, so now here we got this mixing. While this is mixing, we're going to dump in our chocolate chips. This is so much easier than using a spoon. And you slowly do it. This way everything gets incorporated. Get that nose guy out of there. There we go. You got him out too, right? You don't have to do this on because it'll just put itself right in there. There we go. And of course, lift this up. See, now you can see it's a bit more dry than what it was. So yeah, this recipe is pretty cool. So as soon as I get this off, baking time, not that long. Alright, let me show you guys this real quick. So now you have your batter. This is complete. You can put anything you want in this. Hopefully you guys can see that. But it's no longer a soaking wet liquid. So it goes from wet to dry, wet to dry. That's all it is to this. You want to stick M&Ms in there or chocolate or... Oh God, I've seen a whole bunch of stuff being put into these things before. So of course our cookies are large. We're going to start that process right now. And I'll show you how we do that. Get some of the stuff out of the way here. put your oven on 350. Depending on the size of your cookie, that's going to affect a lot. If you have a smaller cookie, kind of like, you know, the corporations, they use those tiny ass cookies, and a little 3-year-old could put the whole thing in their mouth. That's embarrassing. But yeah, we make real size cookies. So these size here, they're going to take 12 minutes at 350. But if you're going to do something tiny like the corporations do, all you need is a short, tiny 8 minutes for those tiny little cookies. That's it. But everybody is aware that we make the large cookies, unless somebody requests or we have to make the smaller cookies, because obviously everything we do is customizable, including the cakes that we make. We do cakes, cookies, pies, pastries, some breads, not all breads, because let's face it, you can go to the stores and get bread. And if you have to move these over, we can only fit 12 on this pan. This is a large pan. It's the largest you're going to get for a kitchen size oven. You can't fit nothing larger in it. The cookies do expand, so you can't put them close together, otherwise you're just going to come out with one giant cookie. We're currently working on our website, so I know a lot of you have been able to see that for years, and it's been down for a little while, but we're trying to do some changes to it. Keep in mind, you can always go on Facebook, contact us there, tell us what you want, cakes, cookies, pies, pastries, whatever, and we'll put you into the schedule. There we go. So there's 12 cookies. Again, you don't want these close together. You see how large they are. So they might not look there. That should give you a better view. So these are pretty large. If you have them close together, for example, then they'll melt into each other and turn into one big mess. So that's the purpose of separating the stuff. We use parchment paper instead of wax paper because it just works a lot better. It lasts longer. You can use it multiple times. Alright, we're going to go put these puppies in the oven. And while we're waiting on that, we'll do some more. Let us know if you guys like our videos, or we should continue making more. Or do you have an interest in seeing us make something different? Facebook deletes videos after 30 days, so the same videos that you see, you won't see 30 days later. And we're just going to keep scooping and scooping. We do have some new things that we're planning on doing with the business. We will not disclose that yet, but you will shortly be seeing the new stuff that we're coming up with. Hopefully it's going to be fun and exciting. We're trying to change a few things. I think this is the one of the, I don't know. If you're doing a video, having to wait for the cookies to get done in the oven, what do you talk about in that short period of time? So there's another batch. And we use Reynolds. That's a good product. There we go. Yeah, I've used other parchment paper. There is a big difference. Reynolds is thick. Some of the other ones that I had tried out in the past they were thin and they just didn't last long enough. Another great thing about the Reynolds is they have these little squares on them. So if you're doing measurable sizes of stuff, that helps out a lot. I'm not advertising for Reynolds, by the way. We're small people, so we don't get anything from anybody. We work for ourselves. We do what we want to do. We try to have fun with our stuff. And we try to make it fun for our customers. That's basically it. One of the greatest things people ask me, what do I like about this business? I enjoy speaking to the customers face to face and seeing their reactions. For example, when we make their wedding cakes or just their holidays baked goods, the reactions that we get is amazing. Like they are so excited. Sometimes they're so excited they cry. It's so cool just to see the amazement that we get and the reactions and. The weddings, when we make the wedding cakes, it's so beautiful. So yeah, it's basically all has to do with like the human interaction. That's what I like about this business. Really, I don't care for being trapped inside a small square cubicle with artificial light, and well, we at least have windows here. That just drives me nuts. No humans around you or anything. So, and with this here, we get to travel also. So I think that's another cool thing about this business. We get to travel and meet other people. Whereas, you know, a regular job, you're just stuck. You go there, your normal 9-to-5 job, and you're just stuck there every day doing the same thing. But for us, it's never the same thing. Each day is different. We never have any idea what we're going to do the next day, or something new could pop up, or a new order, or you know, we're being asked to go to a different city and do something for someone else. Or yeah, it's a cool job. But there is a lot of work hours. That's one thing I can't deny. We've worked for 18 hours already. There's been times where my wife and I were up 3 straight solid days doing holidays and stuff. No sleep for 3 days. So there's huge sacrifices when you're owning your own business, when you're running it, or when you're short man hours and stuff. Or sorry, manpower, not man hours, manpower. Yeah, there's all kinds of different things that go on, but there's also a lot of great things that happen too, like the traveling or meeting new people, etc. Getting to see how happy they are when we make their own creations come to life. So that's pretty cool. Alright, well, we got 6 minutes. The cookies are in the oven. We got 6 minutes to see if they're done. What I did was the large cookies take 12 minutes, but you always check them at 10 minutes. You want to go 2 minutes because 350 degrees is a high temperature. So just imagine if you were put into an oven at 350 degrees. Our local sun, you know, down here we may hit 100, 105, 100, whatever. I've been in states where it's been 115, and just like we do here where we have the blizzard notice and stuff like that, they have the heat warnings telling everyone to stay in their homes. But yeah, it's really cool. If our cookies aren't done, then we'll just put them on for the 2 more minutes to equal the 12 minutes, and then you're guaranteed that they're done. So yeah, if you guys can, let us know. Is there anything out there that you would like to see us make in the baking world? I know I can cook. I've been cooking for years. My family, the women in my family taught me how to cook. My aunt, my grandmother, my mother. So, but this is for the baking world. And I've had people ask me if I could do stuff for cooking, and no. We will not, we don't do that kind of stuff for the business. Just baked goods. Currently, what am I doing? I'm taking the last of my batter, and I'm just scooping it up, putting it into the bowl, and then I'll put it onto the tray when I have a free one. This is the last of the batter. It's not even going to equal out to a whole tray. You want to know how big the sizes are? They're on my hand, and then they'll spread out. So the majority of these already had our large chocolate chip cookies. So y'all know that they're huge. Again, we just see. And yeah, we know they do not fit in the coffee cups. They're too big. So we've had people tell us this. But it does not mean you can't break your cookie in half and dip it. Because even if you had a tiny store-bought cookie and you could dip it into the coffee cup, you're still going to take a bite out of it. So it's still going to be broke. So there's no difference if you take something huge and break it and dip it, or if you take something tiny like a corporation thing and dip it and break it and eat it. So it's the same thing. The difference between us and corporations use harmful drugs and harmful chemicals that have been affecting us in negative ways for several generations. We have never done that. For 15 years, we have never used the harmful drugs and chemicals. So before it became a popular thing, we've been doing it. And today, it's popular because Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Has made it aware to the public that our corporations have been poisoning us by use of their food. Their waters, their beverages, even the produce. You think that you go to the store and you're going to get healthy fruits and vegetables, but the chemicals that they're spraying onto the land, it goes into your food. The chemicals that they're spraying after goes onto the food. So no matter what, you can't escape it. We just have to get them to stop putting it on our food. This is all corporation issues that they've been doing to us. You just can look up the words that are not pronounceable by the majority of the public, and just look at what they do. Instead of looking at the first thing that it says, actually investigate into what each chemical does. There's some chemicals that they're putting into our food that they use to make shoes, like the sole of your shoe, the rubber, and they're putting it into our food. And they claim that it's a preservative to make the food last longer. Doesn't make sense. Okay, looks like we have 52 seconds to go. So that's what I was talking about earlier. What do you talk about when you're waiting for the oven to count down? Alright, let me go get an oven mitt and I will return, guys. Put this here. That way you guys can see the final product. Again, visit us on Facebook. You could call our phone number. We're on Google. You want to place an order with us, you want cakes, cookies, pies, pastries, we're there. Alright, let's check these out. Alright. So this is what I was talking about. So they're not ready yet. They still look wet. So we're going to put them in for 2 more minutes. So after that 2 minutes, I'll guarantee they're done. I'm going to take this guy off. So if your cookie looks like it's wet, it needs to stay in the oven for another 2 minutes. A lot of people, they go based upon the look of the edge of the cookie. Sometimes it could be like has a nice tan to it, but the top is still wet, like really wet. That means the sides of your cookie are going to form to the way they need to be, but the inside of or the middle of your cookie is not going to be fully cooked. That's not what you're looking for. You do want to see the outside edges like a nice tan, nice brown. But the top of the cookie also has to have a somewhat kind of dryish look to it, but not 100% dry. This is another place where sometimes people make mistakes. They overcook them or they undercook them. It has to be the exact time, the right, basically it's all the time, the right temperature and the right time. But I think the key thing is what I said earlier. If you're going to be baking something tiny like a corporation cookie, you're going to do 8 minutes. If you're going to be doing something large like a Mahusky Gourmet Foods cookie, it's normally 12 minutes, but check it at 10 minutes just in case, because every oven varies. Alright, we're almost done. There we go. That's the end of our video. So, see? So they're nice and tan. You can see the edges are tan. The tops are like tan. That's what you're looking for. Alright guys, I'm going to go take this guy. I'll put him down here. I'll turn you guys off. Thank you for watching our video. MahuskyGourmetFoods.net will be back up and running sometime. Check us out on Facebook. Feel free to call us, place your orders. We make cakes, cookies, pies, pastries. Alright, thank you guys very much. It's Mahusky Gourmet Foods signing out. Thank you very much everyone. Enjoy your day.